Hello friends, welcome to another product demo by Silicon Craftsman. Today we're going to be diving deep into OIN.Finance and their newly launched OINDAO v3, which allows you to issue USDO, a US dollar synthetic stablecoin native to the NEAR ecosystem. Oh, that was a mouthful. Let's start unpacking that. So today we're going to have a really quick overview of who OIN.Finance are and how the platform works. Then we're going to jump right into the actual platform to mint some USDO. And finally, we're going to have an overview of the DeFi ecosystem on NEAR to get a better understanding of where OIN.Finance sits and what to look forward for the next few weeks. So let's jump right in. The two things that I think are fascinating about OINDAO is that it is a multi-chain stablecoin issuance protocol. A couple of things I'd like to unpack there. The first one is a multi-chain aspect. I'm actually quite bullish about them being multi-chain because I see big projects such as this one and many others expanding to the NEAR ecosystem as a major opportunity. Why? Because I see them as bridges for awareness and adoption. So for instance, when you go to the OIN.Finance Twitter, they've got over 20,000 followers there. They've got Telegram channels with tens of thousands of users. If you think of the makeup of these users, they are distributed all over the world, pretty standard for crypto, but also these are people that came across OIN.Finance probably through many of the chains that they're covering at the moment. So among these chains, they've got NEAR, which they've just launched. I think this is the most advanced one. But they're also doing a lot of work within the Harmony, Avalanche, Polygon, Dash, and paid network ecosystems. So very soon, all these users, a lot of users from these platforms that have been following OIN.Finance are going to know about NEAR and most likely develop a keen interest and follow the growth there. Hopefully they'll give it a go. And as I say, come for OIN, stay for the network. The second thing that I believe it's worth unpacking is the stablecoin issuance protocol, because the use of the word stablecoin can understandably confuse some people. As the name suggests, a stablecoin is a coin whose value stays stable. The real issue is, where does the value come from? So there are different types of stablecoins, and it is very important to understand the difference. So the traditional type would be $1 goes into a bank account, and there is a one-to-one matching. So for every dollar that goes into a bank account held in a trust by a centralized company like Circle, they issue $1 on the blockchain. So the stable coins in this category would be USDT, which allegedly has all the money in a bank account in the Bahamas or something. There's USDC issued by Circle. There is TUSD issued by the Gemini guys up in New York. There is a second type of stablecoins, which are the synthetic stablecoins. And this is where things get really interesting. So once again, we'll always go back to the question of how is a dollar a dollar? What is backing that value? So with synthetic stablecoins, instead of having $1 in a bank account, matching your dollar in the metaverse, the way it works is that there are decentralized protocols such as MakerDAO, UST, Onterra, Abracadabra, or now OINDAO, which basically set up a factory, smart contracts, where you can put in other assets of value to issue these tokens that are worth $1. So when you ask the question, how is this USDO worth $1? The answer is because there are these assets behind it. These assets are historically things that have a very well-established market value and liquidity. So for instance, Ethereum can be used as collateral. And in our specific use case, NEAR would be used as collateral. Another interesting aspect there is the collateralization ratio, or how much of the asset you need to deposit to get the stablecoin out. Naturally, because the price of these assets fluctuates, usually the collateralization ratio is pretty conservative. So your Ethereum or your NEAR can fluctuate in price, but you have the confidence that the USDO or the DAI that you're holding is still $1 or is still backed. Now, the last thing I want to mention with the assets that back up these US synthetic tokens is that the latest trend is not just to use assets that have a well-defined market value and deep liquidity, but to use yield-producing assets, things that are actually generating an income. So this is mind-blowing because basically you can put things down as collateral that allow you to take out a loan, but the thing that you put down as collateral is itself generating an income. So technically the loan repays itself. Whoosh. So in our case, OINDAO uses stNEAR as collateral. And as you probably know by now, because we've done several videos on this, stNEAR is a token that you receive when you stake your NEAR. So basically, when you use the OINDAO, you're able to earn 10% on your NEAR while taking out a loan, which we'll see very soon, you pay 2% on. So there's an 8% spread there. Crazy stuff. Now, jumping onto the OINDAO V3 specifically, we're going to go through these sections in more detail as we go on the demo. As a really quick side note, the OIN token is both deflationary and used for governance purposes. So all the stability fees paid in OINDAO will be paid in USDO and then used to repurchase OIN token on the market and burn it. Now, onto the good stuff. Let's jump into the OINDAO platform. So we can see that we've already logged in with our NEAR account. You need to have some stNEAR in your balance to be able to use the OINDAO. So if you don't, go to metapool.app and you can deposit your NEAR here, start earning staking rewards and receive stNEAR. Alternatively, you can also go to Ref.Finance and swap your NEAR for stNEAR here as well. Once we are on the dashboard, we are currently in the vault section. At the very top, we've got a summary of all our positions. We don't have any USDO positions yet. On the right, we can see the percentages that you can earn. Meta APY, 30%, not bad. OIN APY, 180%, looks pretty good to me. And wrap NEAR APY, this is starting next week. On the right, we can see that the minimum collateralization ratio is 160. If you get liquidated, you're going to be paying about 10%, basically a penalty. And the stability rate, which is the interest that you pay on your debt, is about 2%. There are currently just under $1,600,000 locked in value, which is pretty good. So very quickly before we get started, the stability pool is where you can deposit money. This offers a really good opportunity for returns. We can see pretty high APYs on OIN tokens. And it could potentially be a really good business as well, because as we mentioned, you'll be buying tokens for 10% below market value. Having said that, it is not without risk. Remember, if the market is crashing epically and a bunch of people are getting liquidated, the stability pool is going to be catching knives. All these coins that need to get sold will be bought by the stability pool. So please assess your risk. The stability pool is not for everyone. I just had to mention that because during the beta testing was actually perfect because the beta testing occurred during a bit of a dip in market. So a bunch of people, including myself, got liquidated. And it was very interesting to see people not really grasping the concept of them being part of the stability pool and what happens when liquidations do occur. The USD stablecoin value decreased because it got used to pay out the stNEAR, but their stNEAR increased in the stability pool balance. So this 0.23 that I've earned here, that's someone that got liquidated. So to sum it up, the USDO in the stability pool will be used to pay off the debt of the account that has fallen below the collateralization ratio. And the stNEAR that person had deposited as collateral, they lose their stNEAR. They will no longer have any debt, but they will no longer have any stNEAR deposited. The stNEAR gets distributed to the stability pool contributors. So if you go to the reward section, you can see from the stability pool how much OIN you've earned, how much stNEAR you've earned. The stNEAR is coming from people that got liquidated. Finally, you can see the liquidation section. I find this one to be fascinating because you can see the C ratio at the moment. All the positions are quite healthy. What I find really interesting about this is that the stability pool is there to guarantee that all the positions that fall below the C ratio get liquidated. However, as far as I understand it, anyone can come to this liquidation section, and if a position falls below 160, they can liquidate. So once again, it's an opportunity to buy coins at 10% discount. So we're going to deposit 100 stNEAR. The deposit action must be confirmed separately from the borrow action. So we're going to deposit first, and then we'll issue the USDO. Sign the transaction with a wallet. So you'll see that the collateral that we have deposited increases to 100. The dollar value of that is $955. We don't have any debt borrowed because we have not issued any USDO. So now we can see the C ratio in action. So from the $955 we have in value, we are only able to borrow $586. So let's borrow $369. So that will give me a very healthy C ratio of 251. I don't want to be waking up in the middle of the night with cold sweats, checking the prices of coins, because if it drops 10%, I get liquidated. No, none of that. I want to have a very healthy C ratio. So we'll confirm. And just like that, we can see how now I have 100 stNEAR earning 10% staking rewards from the protocol. And now I have $369 in the form of USDO. So naturally, the first thing that people wonder after they've been able to access liquidity and issue US dollar equivalents from their assets is, what do I do with that now? The first thing, and that's something you can do right now, would be to join the stability pool. The stability pool is paying very high rewards. Now, while being part of the stability pool is exciting and it does present some opportunities for returns there, naturally, the primary use case of being able to access liquidity from your assets would be to actually use the USDO. So the next fundamental piece of the puzzle is to be able to exchange the USDO for other assets, which are also liquid. This is where we start to understand why there are such heavy farming returns. So over the next 3 months, there's going to be 900,000 OIN tokens and 1 million meta tokens over the next month put towards incentives in several farms. So we know from the blog post that there are several incentivized farms coming to make sure that USDO is easily exchangeable for other tokens. So the first one is wrapped near NUSDO. And the second one is stNEAR OIN coin, both on OIN.Finance. These two pools are the ones that have been announced so far. I just want to give you a really quick glimpse of what is to come. So OIN.Finance just announced Source, a stable swap feature on Ref. So Source is getting started as an easy way to swap between DAI, USDT, and USDC. Technically, all stablecoins have the same value, so users should be able to very easily swap between them. There is also a dedicated stablecoin stable swap exchange on the Aurora platform called Rose. At the moment, they also have a stables pool with DAI, USDC, and USDT. We can expect over time USDO to be part of these pools or to have new pools in that stable swap category, just to make sure that it is easily interchangeable. Where I am extremely bullish is that having the USDO is an immediate avenue for people, especially people with large balances in NEAR, to be able to access liquidity now without having to sell their NEAR. And normally there is a correlation between people that have a lot of NEAR and they do not want to sell it because they're bullish on the platform, and them investing heavily in early stage projects. So the cycle that I feel we're going to enter into is there's going to be a lot of USDO issued, but instead of the money exiting the ecosystem, say somebody wanting to buy a car or a house, we're going to see the USDO going back into NEAR and back into other protocols, into IDOs, into NFTs, into hiring new talent. So this could be a really exciting time. Let me know if you have any questions. I know this is a bit of a complex one. I'll leave all the links in the section below. I've been pretty good answering all the comments that you leave on the videos, so please let me know what you think and I'll reply. And you can also contact us on the Twitter. Awesome.